What you just saw is what we call a slingshot. Slingshotting is one of the most important techniques in Sonic Frontiers speedrunning, and in this video I'm going to go over how it's done and how you can optimize them. So, how does a slingshot work? Well, the idea behind a slingshot is getting far away from an enemy, doing a stomp attack, and cancelling that with a boost. The reason why it works is because the stomp animation kind of speeds up once you're far away from the enemy. And if you then cancel with a boost, you get a really high amount of speed. So for a slingshot, you wanna be as far away as possible from the enemy to get the most amount of speed. It would take this guy for an example, this enemy right here. The way you get far away from an enemy is by doing a magnet dash or the gritty away from the enemy. During the boost, you want to lock onto the enemy, and now you can do the inputs for the slingshot. As you can see, I went quite far away. So what are the inputs for a slingshot? Well, all you really need to do is to do a dodge or a side roll, whatever this is. They want to click the stomp button, and then boost out of that. The speed will vary depending on how far away you are from the enemy. If, for example, I just go here, I won't get super far, as you can see. I still managed to make it like almost down to the river, and it's not too bad. But if I want to go even further, I can go further away from the enemy. As you can see, I wasn't even close to the river. I was way past it. So those are two good examples of how far away from the enemy you are, the more speed you'll get. And this is actually very important when it comes to speedrunning, because there are some slingshots that we do that are really dependent on it. Another important concept about slingshotting is that the height difference between you and the enemy really, really matters. And when I say that, it's not like going up here, like being down here will make a big difference, right? For example, I go this way. I don't really get a lot of height. If I instead go down here, I'll get a bit more height. Getting more height also means that your slingshot will be extended, so you'll have like a more uptime of the slingshot, if that makes sense. Or like your speed will last longer. Yeah, those are like the two very basic concepts of slingshotting. Something worth noting when doing slingshot is that the target might break. So here, the target breaks. Same there, the target breaks. And I think even if we go, if we go behind this rock, it will also break. Or if we do this, the target breaks. Because there's something in between Sonic and the enemy. So Sonic don't have vision over the enemy. This is quite frustrating once you start learning, because you don't really know what causes it to happen. The only other things that can make the target disappear is that you wait too long. So yeah, here I'm just going to wait it out, and as you see, it disappears. You can't keep the target on forever, unfortunately. You can also have the target break if the enemy actually deloads, which is usually easiest shown on these enemies up in the sky. It can happen on any enemy, really. As you can see, it despawns and the target is gone. So yeah, this can be used on any enemy in the whole game, pretty much. Just magnet dash away from it and do the slingshot inputs, and you'll be flying. Now, if you want to make some more advanced slingshots, then we're going to talk about the soldier ones. So here we have a group of soldiers. You can do the same here. You can do a mag dash and it'll work just fine. What I'm going to show is a little bit trickier. I've heard a lot of people struggle with side looping the soldiers. So that's what I'm going to show now. So in any percent now, the current Kronos route would get the last skill point box right about here. And then if you're fast enough, you can actually run to the set of soldiers all the way over here and not lose much time. Then you want to side loop it and off you go. So what did I do? So most importantly is side loop. So the way we do side loops on soldiers is that we make a loop around them and then we kind of run away. And even though we run away, you see that we can still get rings from it. That means the side loop is still complete. Even if it doesn't show red, we can still like run away from it, right? It will still get rings. The same works for side looping enemies. So we side loop the soldiers because it launches them up in the sky. To be able to slingshot off them while they're in the air, we can't mag dash them because we wouldn't be able to hit the slingshot input in time. So instead, what we do is that we run up to them, target, and then run away. Let go of the side loop button and then do the slingshot input. Let's side loop, target, let go, and slingshot. Now, as you can see, you can go very far away from him. And the reason why I want to do that on Kronos is because, as you just saw, we can chain the slingshot into the hyper bounce. If we want to take a good example of one of the pretty important soldier slingshots, we can go to Ares. After West, you want to make it to the Wyvern arena to spawn Wyvern, right? So this combines the 3 different things I've talked about. The distance from the enemy, the height difference from the enemy, and side looping a soldier. After West, you would spawn like roughly around here-ish. So we can just run to the enemy, do a side loop, lock onto it, run away, and do a slingshot. And the trigger for this boss is like literally right here. So doing this saves almost 20 seconds. At least 15. Another useful thing with the slingshot is getting frame perfect boosts. If you don't know what HSP is, it's basically the same input as slingshotting, but you boost on the first frame possible after doing the stomp. It'll look like something like this. You get a lot of height and it's pretty cool. And you can do the same thing with slingshotting. So yeah, you can do a magnet dash and get the first frame. I use this specific one literally to get closer to the tower, and it also, I think, increases your speed going upwards. And yeah, just to showcase how like crazy slingshotting actually is, I'm gonna show the tower 4 to tower 6 slingshot as well. So you can make it all the way down here. We're pretty much at the bottom of tower 4. If you lock onto this floaty guy, you can do a magnet dash, hold downwards. As soon as you land, you do a slingshot, and you get so much speed and height, you make it all the way to tower 6. If you are crazy about slingshotting, if you find it like, oh wow, this is so much fun, and you want to optimize it even more, I'm one of those people. I'm gonna show you an example of where the elevation between Sonic and the enemy actually matters, of when, like, how you do the slingshot. So this slingshot is a pretty good example, because me and Katie, we do different things here. What she does is that she goes backwards here to the slingshot, right? Because we want to make it to the gear that is right here. As you can see, doing this slingshot, it gives you a lot of height. We don't want to stomp and wait a second to hit the ground, right? So what I do is that I run over this way and do the slingshot. And as you can see, I land right at it. So what is the difference? Well, Katie stands down here, which increases the difference in elevation between Sonic and enemy. And I stand all the way up here, which makes them way closer to even. And because we're still so far away from them, we still get the speed that's necessary. And there is a slight difference still. So we will get enough height. So if you're crazy about slingshotting, that is something you might want to look into, because doing stuff like that will save time over the run with how many slingshots we're now adding. Anyway, I think that was all I wanted to talk about. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Comment if you want to see more like this. Also, yeah, I'll be doing more speedruns over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/OnakuTV. So if you want to catch me live, then follow me there. Then thank you everyone so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.